Oh, someone's here already. Yeah, I'm going to wait another minute or two. I have a problem with setting this up to start at a certain time or the right orientation. So thank you for being here. And we're about to. Okay. Right there. No, not gonna stay. Okay. The new one's here. Boy, your face is really red. It doesn't look red. That's weird. Okay. Mhm. Oop, I need a hook. What happens? Let's get some thread. Okay. Gonna edit this out because no one's here. Hey, people are here. All right, let me check the time. I think we have about, well, it's right on time. Hey, welcome. All right, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we are going to finish working on the frog. I found a way of, as I'm crocheting the circle, to put the eyes on without, can't even talk, without having to sew them on later. So this is all attached, didn't have to sew it in. So that's pretty cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the little eyes, the white of the eye. This is way too big. And then I found, no, I didn't find, I have these little, oh, look, you see? I'll put it on somewhere. Don't watch me lick this. Gross. Lipstick. I just had one of these beads. It's those little plastic polymer beads, so they're real thin. And anyway, those are popular, so I have a whole set of those that I could use for the eyes. And then we have the pig form. And I mistakenly made a circle for this. But a pig, I need an oval. So I'm going to show you how to make an oval in a magic ring. What? Who even knew? I'm wearing an infinity scarf that I made. Because when I watch my videos, I can see how my chest looks very old. And also, I have all these disgusting skin tags from being Italian. So sorry, daughters, that's your future. Emily Fountain. Hey, how's it going, Emily? Hang around if you're interested. All right, here's our, or don't. I mean, hang around even if you're not. Sorry, I'm doing a load of laundry. It was making a funny sound. Even if you're not interested in crochet, stick around because we talk about all kinds of weird stuff. Here are our hooks today. I have a little teeny tiny, it's an old style, size 5. I don't really think it's a 5. I don't know what that is, how small it is. Then I have my handy 4 tapestry. My pretty scissors. Look, it's a bird. some sewing needles. Ugh, sewing, right? I shouldn't say that, my daughter's a seamstress, but sewing just makes my fingers hurt. And then I have my tool chest for sewing, one of them. Okay, then I did put this together. This is from a different day. This is supposed to be a mom, but I made it look really, look at that. Doesn't it look like a little Christmas tree? Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Look at my face on that. So, it looks cuter in person. All right. Let me put something white I can put behind her. Don't have anything white. Anyway, this pattern that instead of it being a mom, could be a little Christmas tree, and instead of doing 7 just single 7 chains, on the 4th chain you could do a little peacock, which is you just do another little chain, and then you go back and hook it, makes a little point, and then it'll look more pointy like a Christmas tree. All right, that's from a different day, so I did that. And yes, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the eyes for the pig. No, I'm not. Make the eyes for the frog. Okay, so I'm going to do a magic circle, and a magic circle is magical because when you are done crocheting into it, you can then pull it tight so that you have no gap. Okay, then you pull it up, and I know this is backwards. I'm sorry. You're just going to pull through. Ta-da! Now you have this little ring. Now I try to crochet over the tail, 1, so I don't get confused and start crocheting the tail itself, and 2, that way when I'm done I can just snip it. Did I get anything over? No. All right, so we're going to do 8. Sorry. I don't want to cover my face up. We're going to do 8 single crochet, and then I'm going to eyeball it and see if it's going to be small enough. And if it's not small enough, then we'll do something else. Sometimes when you are following a pattern that's in a video and you don't get to see the written pattern, you don't get to see all the little tiny details. So, just saying, I don't always go on the pattern. If I just look at a picture, sometimes I could just see what they were saying, but as a layperson, you may not be able to do the same thing. Is that what I'm saying? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now we're gonna take our, and I didn't get to crochet over it, and that's okay. I'm gonna just pull this now, and because this is so small, I have to make sure that it's not gonna be twisted. So I'm just gonna hold on to it, watch while I'm pulling it. I'm not telling you to watch, I'm telling you to watch when you're pulling it. Watch here. And here it is now. See, there's still a little bit of a hole. A little bit of blue, so we're going to pull on this tighter. Excuse me while I make a bad face or a weird face. Okay. So now that's pretty tight. And now I'm going to put this on here. Oh, I think it's perfect. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to just snip this. And I'm going to leave an extra long tail on. Okay, I'm going to do an invisible close. Also, an invisible closes is you taking, oops, cut the wrong string. I cut the wrong end. Is you take your hook out, and you're going to make that loop just in 2 steps instead of 1, and that way it's not apparent that that is the end. So I'm going to use my hook, and no one's here. That's all right. It's okay if no one's here. You shouldn't sing because maybe someone has. All right, I'm going to use my smaller hook because it's easier. And then you got to be careful when you use a small hook so you don't grab one of the strands. All right, I'm going to pull that through. And that didn't work out. It's okay. Okay. I should just use a tapestry hook. Needle. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. And then it's not so important to really close it all the way up because you're going to put that black bead on top of it. So now I'm going to make another one. First I'm going to drink some caffeine because I don't feel good today. I should clarify. I never feel good, but today I have a headache. All right. All right, now we're going to make another one. And I'm going to put 8 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Slip. All closed. This time I am gonna use the tapestry needle because it's bugging me too much. Sorry. Excuse me when I keep sticking my face straight into the camera. I refuse to wear my glasses right now because even if I did, I would not be able to see it from that far away. Just like wearing my glasses. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm very fortunate as an older person to not need reading glasses. So I do have bifocals, but there is only a little bit of correction in the middle part, and that's for my astigmatism. But other than that, I don't need talk so much. Okay, I'm going to do the pig's snout, and I'm going to make it, oh no, just kind of eyeball it again. Oh, there's somebody here. Hello, we're working on I'm making the pig snout, and I just made the little eyes for the frog. This is not the suggested use of these. This is just so that you can see what we're working on. I mean, unless you want to walk around like in the 80s when there were big shoulder pads. Just walk around with little things on your shoulders. Don't do that unless you need a seat on the bus. Then people will probably let you sit down because you look a little weird. All right, 3. I'm going to do a chain of, let's do 8. Let's do 9. 4, 5, oops. This yarn has lost some of its twist, and that's okay for what we're doing. I don't need to stop and twist it a little bit. Sorry. 2, 4, 6, 7. We're going to do, we need 8 chains to work. We're going to add I'm going to add an extra one to have a turning chain. And I think we're going to do, is it going to be too big? Okay, good. So what we're going to do is make a snout going across. It's going to be too big. So we're going to take off 2 stitches. 1, 2, because we want it to be even. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 is not an even number. I know it's not an even number, but that extra one is for the turning chain. Hey, you're here! Yay! Look, I got the froggy going on. Working on the pig snout. And then, there's time, I'll do another version of the puppy. All right, I'm going to do a half double crochet. I'm going to put 3 of them on the end. And what I'm doing is I'm going into the very top My light is too bright. I'm going to go in the very top part of the chain, like you normally would. Okay, so I'm going to put 2, 1, and 2. Then I'm going to put a half double crochet in the next one, a half double crochet in the next one, excuse me, a half double crochet in the next one. Oh, I updated in my on my page that says about me with my email. Oh, thank you. So if anyone ever wants to email me, you can. You know, like if you have, I don't know, questions. I know there was some lady on yesterday who had a pattern, and she was asking me how to make how to do a triple crochet. And yeah, I'll be more than happy to answer questions. You know? Okay, just adjusting myself a little bit. All right, so now we are at the end, and we're going to go around this. We're going to work on the other side. So we're going to put a half double crochet, and we're going to manipulate it with our fingers to make it kind of go in the middle. Okay, and now we're going to turn the work over. So from your perspective, we're going to work in these top chains. Oh, good. Thank you. I look forward to reading your email. I also am in the process of having a store on something called Ko-fi, K-O-F-O. I don't know. I can't remember to spell it, F-O-I. All right, so there's 3 in there, and now this was a little tricky. I'm going to go into the bottom chain. I'll make a video on it. Okay. I'll show you what I'm doing. Where I'm going to sell the products that are online. So like this little Christmas tree, I might sell this. And I'm only going to have the one. So if someone wants to buy it, it'll be on the store, they can buy it. I'm not going to make more of them. And I'm going to do that with my amigurumi because I am never going to finish them. People want to buy them, they can buy them. And but it's not going to be like a regular store where there's going to be 10 of something. It's just going to be the one. So we're going to call it exclusive. You can get an exclusive, partially made product from me that you get to finish on your own. It's like buying IKEA furniture. Some assembly required. Okay. And I have to remember to try and stay in proper posture and not drop my head down like this. This last one, I think we're going to put 2. Oh my gosh, I always get so itchy when I'm on camera. All right, I've got to tighten this loop up here. And if this is not the right size for this pig, I'm going to save this little thing. Am I going to save it? This is why you have too much stuff, Michelle. All right, so before we close it up, I'm going to put it on the pig and see if it fits. Okay, the light is too bright. The light is too bright. I think it works. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hey, like and subscribe. Help make my dream of never leaving my house again come true. I have to update my About Me page more so you can find out more about me. But I am not disabled for Social Security, but I have a number of health problems that makes it quite difficult for me to work. So I am underemployed as a substitute teacher, which is hard enough as it is, but a classroom teacher, oh my gosh, it's like having 2 jobs. So on occasion I'll do long-term subs, and it is very, very challenging. Is it even? Okay, I'm going to look at this. I think I might have to put another stitch in to make it even. Yeah, I'm going to put another stitch in. Anyway, so I would like to supplement my income, and I found out that, all right, so I had planned this out as a widow. In the United States, you can retire at age 60. And I've been a widow for 18 years as of yesterday. And I'm very proud of myself. I kind of forgot that there was an anniversary date. And, oh yeah, I keep for here in Australia. I'm sorry. You have to get up so early to watch. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that, though. So I thought, okay, anyway, so I'm not remarried. We were married for a year, and I'm not remarried, so I am qualified to collect his benefits. So my contract lets up and will not be renewed because I was being paid out of a fund of money that school districts got here for the COVID situation. And what I was going to do was I was going to apply for the benefits to start in July, thinking that I would meet the requirements and they would just prorate it for half the year. So like the first half of the year, I made too much money because it's not really complicated. If you make too much money, then they start taking away your benefits. No, they do it for the whole year. So now I have to work full-time this coming semester because I do not want to dip into my savings, which for once in my life I actually have savings. And so I can't do my partial 2 or 3 days a week semi-retirement until January 1st. So that's a bummer. I mean, it's not any, I mean, I've read that website, I looked at everything. There is no mention that they look at that number. I think I must, oh no, I don't, I can fix it. So what am I trying to say? So if you retire early, you're not allowed to make too much money. And if you make too much money, they start taking away from your benefits. And if I started collecting my benefits now, I would lose 70% for next year. Throws off my whole budget. So that's what's going on. All right. So what did we learn from this little lesson? I should not talk when I'm doing this. And that I'm going to take this out and do it again. Anyway. Okay. So then I'm going back to my little store. So that little store also is a way for people to leave like, it's supposed to be like buy me a cup of coffee, but that's a different app. Whatever. I forgot what I was saying. So I have to look into how I would ship out of the country. Because when I hit an Etsy store, Etsy takes so much of your money. If I sell something for like $10, I would probably clear $6. An important message from the Democrat. Oh, jeez, okay. They want money from me. Okay. All right, let me put this here. So on this website, they don't charge you any money to list your products, which is cool, because then if it doesn't sell, you're not paying upfront. And then they only take a certain percentage. And I'm trying to think of the number. It's not that much. So I just dropped the snout in my cup of tea. Of all the things that's in here, this is horrible. All right, well, I have a towel right here. Oh. Okay. Hey, if you ever want to make fabric look like antique fabric, what you do is you dip it in tea, leave it in there for a little bit, take it out, it looks antique. But we don't want that on our pig. Oh, well, that was annoying. All right, now I have to make another one. All right, I'm going to stick my face in so I can read this. Bye, see you in the next stream. Thank you. Oh, I post everything. The video will go up probably in a couple days just as a regular video, so you don't have to watch the stream. You can just pop in and watch it later on, which I will miss talking in live, but you need your sleep. So, all right, we're going to make another one of these. I'm going to make 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put a single, nope, I'm going to do a half double crochet, and I'm going to put 2 in this one. 1, 2. And I'm going to put half double crochet in the every stitch until the end, which will be 5. Okay, now I'm going to put another one in that last stitch. And it's okay, that chain can be a little bit big to help it turn. We're going to turn this upside down, and this knot that was our starting knot, we're going to kind of stick behind. And now we're going to put a half double crochet in here. Very sorry for dropping this in the T. Sorry. Okay, now we're going to put a half double crochet on the opposite side. But not in both loops, just in one loop. Somebody outside. And this is also, this is just an oval, and this is the basis of if you're going to make little baby booties and stuff. So you have like a little foot shape. So anyway, so any questions in here? Oh yeah, about it falling in the T? Of course. Of course. Why not? That's my daughter talking to me. Okay. And I have to say something to my daughter. Daughter, first, how come you didn't tell me that my neck is unattractive? I was watching my live streams. So now I'm wearing a scarf to cover this up. And second, I don't know if you heard me say this yesterday, but there was a lady, or there is a lady, who is a doctor of archaeology, and she studies fibers, and she has a whole video on the archaeology of knitting. It's called How Knitting Changed the World. Fascinating, right? My daughter is you're looking out the window at someone outside. Oh, it's cute. Yeah, who the heck's out there? I'm always thinking, is there going to be a horse or something out there? Plus, I'm old, right? Ha ha ha. Anyway, I didn't even know that archaeology would do something like that, so I thought that was interesting. So you should look it up. Pretty interesting. Okay. So now we have our snout. And I'm going to close this up. And if you're making baby booties, when you're making, if you ever do this, when you're making little soft booties for babies or children, you don't have to shape it for a left or right foot. Now, if you're going to go into making shoes, which have I ever made a pair of shoes? Yes, I did. I made a pair of shoes and I wore them, and I had a sweater that matched. It's very exciting. And let me see. Then you do have to shape it. Okay. And making shoes is not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that much. You're beautiful. I don't notice anything about your neck. Yeah, because it's all covered up. Look at all the tags. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I could talk to my daughter at a different time. Okay, so that is the snout for the pig. Okay, so let's go back to the... Is it in the T? Did I drop it in the T? Okay, don't scream. Such a loud person. What happened to the little... Oh, they're so small. So I think what I'm going to do is panic, because I think I found it. It was on the floor. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to... just do it now. All right, so I have 4 of those little black things to make them the eyes. And let me go by how nice and neat it is, because I've never used it. Just bought this. I had a whole bunch of thread, and it was really old. It was my mom's thread. My mom passed away 10 years ago. And I was like, I'm never going to use this. I got rid of it. Now we're going to start doing sewing again. So anyway. Okay. Okay. Where'd the needle go? It's so thin. So here's a sewing needle as compared to a tapestry needle. Can you even see it? It's so small. Let me put this behind so you can see it. This is pointy. And I remember my daughter, I think it was this daughter that's on here, stepped on the needle and it went through her shoe and into her little baby foot. And I feel bad. And I'm sorry if you forgot about that, Tasha, and now I'm making you remember. I'm sorry. All right. If I can't thread this right away, then I will save this for later so it's not too boring. And we are victorious, maybe? Okay. I don't have a threader. There's a little thing that you can buy. It's called a threader. Helps you thread the needles. All right, so here's our thread. And I learned from a tailor. I had a friend whose mom was a tailor. What's the difference between a tailor and a seamstress? Tailor makes men's clothes, and a seamstress makes women's clothes. All right, so now I'm going to take my little ivory. God, it's so bright. Okay, I'll fix that tomorrow. It's better than bad, I guess. I'm going to start in the back, and I'm going to leave this tail right here. Some people put a knot in it. I don't put a knot because I learned then that that is not professional. So, of course, I don't do it because I'm a little conceited like that. Okay, this is the daughter who was on, is not the daughter who's the seamstress. She is the one who is crocheting. Who's calling me? Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to take my supplements. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, and it was supposed to be slightly off center on here, so I'm going to kind of put it towards the bottom. I'm going to just sew it like a button, where I'm going to just go in the middle of the circle of the bead, and then just go around about 4 times. And now this is going to be sewn on, so you can, if you want to be sloppy, thread is pretty cheap, but normally if you're sewing, you want to go really close to where you came out and then angle your needle so that should someone see the back of it, they're not horrified by the mess. But we don't really care right now because, oh, and I don't have a thimble on. Okay, it's all right. I'll try not to get blood. And then what you do is you catch that little tail while you're stitching, and that'll kind of anchor it in. There we go, all done. And we're going to do this 4 times. And if you want, you can always use a contrasting thread to make it interesting. I don't know. But on this pattern, I would not suggest doing that. I would suggest maybe if you're doing like a voodoo doll or something. I made a voodoo doll once when I was a... Did I make a voodoo doll? I can't remember if I really made it or if that is how I remember it. That's the fun part about getting old. You can't remember if things really happened to you or if you read it in a book or saw it in a movie or had a dream about it. Okay. All right, so we don't have as much of a turnout today. And you know what? That's okay. It's all right. Okay, so there is our eye. And I'm just going to do what I would do with a thread and just put a couple stitches back here. But then again, this is going to be stitched on. Now, it's going to be stitched on, so you're not going to see the back of this. I don't really have to anchor the thread all that much. Let me finish one sentence. Now, if you don't want to use, needle and thread, because you could always use a piece of felt and glue it on. You could even use a permanent marker. I don't like doing that though, because I'm always afraid I'm going to damage it. And now I'm going to have a sip of my tea that I dropped my yarn in. I don't care. I'm not going to leave the screen. Okay, there we go. It's nice and cold too, because I made it a while ago. Just joking. Okay, so now we're going to do this on here. Oh my God, look how cute that is. Wait a minute, move your hand out of the way. Look how cute. Now, would I ever make this again in real life? No, I would not. If one of my grandchildren asked me to, I would, but I don't have any, so that's not going to be a problem, or isn't a problem right now, but that's a potential for the future. If any of my lovely daughters decide to have children. And if they don't decide, oops, oh God, I pulled the needle off. If I don't ever get any grandchildren, it's fine with me. Because it's their decision and not mine. Okay, so, oh, jeez. Okay. And I know in this container of sewing needles, these all have the same size eye, so I'm not going to dig around and look for a bigger eye. And I remember threading needles for my grandmother when I was little because she could not see. I pulled it out again. Okay. Okay, well, I think what we're going to do is put a pin in this. And I am going to, okay, wait. I'm going to just look at the pig for a minute. And the pig needs to have the snout, the embroidery finish, and it can be done with yarn. And then the eyes, and I think these little tiny beads would be cute. Oh God, that's so cute. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet a puppy dog face. Where did I put? Oh. Okay, so I'm going to use a beige color. And I'm going to make a smaller one. Hopefully this won't activate the cat next to me. I would show you the cat, but my couch is kind of messy. Okay. All right, oh, here's a little, look how cute this little pig eraser is. He's green and pink. Isn't that cute? Okay. Okay. Anyway, are there any questions here? Okay, if there's no questions, that's all right. It's okay. All right, so I have my magic circle, and I already lost one of the threads or strands. I'm gonna start over again. Okay. Oh, you know what I made too? I'm gonna interrupt myself because I do that best. If I can find it easily. Is it in here? Okay. I was working on Spider-Man, a project that will never end. All right, so I made the spider. I think I showed this, the big spider that I had a while ago. Okay, and then I made this, and I said I was going to use thread, but what I used was sock yarn. Would be called a fingering yarn. I don't like that it's called that. And I tried following the same pattern, and it's still much too big for Spider-Man. Well, while I was looking for the pattern, I found that there is actually somebody, it could be the creator of this pattern, that made a video on how to embroider the spider on there. So I'm going to take a look at that. All right, so this is going in a bag, and this is something that I would sell undone. Here's the Spider-Man's head. Here's his body. All you have to do is the arms. Here is some red yarn. There's some blue yarn. Why not? There's some felt in there for the eyes. Here's some spiders that don't even work, but why not? Have some spiders. And then it will include the websites for the video to do the embroidery of the spider and the actual pattern. And then someone could buy this and they could finish it themselves and they could keep it forever and love it. So there you go. So that's what I worked on yesterday. And that little tiny spider took so long. And I wouldn't, oh, there's the felt. I'm gonna put that back. This is for the eyes. I think I need some black felts too. Okay. All right. Okay, okay. Okay. All right. And just one. Okay, that's all right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 12 double crochets. If we were doing amigurumi, and this would be our first step usually, and we would not be doing double crochets, we would be doing single crochets, and I am using American crochet terms, which are just ever so slightly different than British, and I'm assuming that Australia uses British terminology. I'm not sure. If you ever buy a pattern, you should make sure that it is in, that you understand which terminology you're using. It just changes it ever so slightly. It doesn't change the stitches, it just changes what the stitches are called. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Put an extra. Okay, we're going to pull this tight. This is why it's magical. So I'm going to show you on the frog. So on the frog, what I did was to keep this all on so I wouldn't have to sew it. I did a chain, and then a chain, and then I made it all into, I made the stitches into that chain stitch, but I also did it into another one, and that kept it kind of tight. But as you can see here, this was in a chain, and it didn't work out as right as the way I would have wanted it to. But then again, it's going to be okay because I'm going to put something on top of it. But this is the difference between, one of the techniques is to chain 2 and then put all your crochets into that first chain stitch, and it's going to get loose like this. But the magic circle allows you to tighten it up, and that's why it's called magic circle, because it magically disappears. But that's why I call it that. All right, so what I'm doing is I am making a puppy dog. I made one the other day, but I feel like the ears were too small. All right, so now I'm going to put 2 double crochets into each of these 12 stitches. And I don't use a marker, pretty obvious where the chain ends, where the row ends. If you're doing amigurumi, it's not so obvious, so you would want to use like, I would use like a piece of contrasting yarn, or you can get a stitch marker, and that way you don't have to count the stitches. I like to count the stitches anyway, just to be safe. And then some amigurumi, you do what's called crocheting the round, and it'll have a spiral effect, and then you won't have a seam in the back of your amigurumi. And it makes a big difference in the success of the pattern. If the pattern says to work in the round, you need to work in the round. I learned that firsthand. So what I decided is that for the summertime, I will probably be posting 3 times a day. Oh my God, that's so much. All right, so one will be a live stream of crocheting. And then there'll be a post of the live stream from the day before, because they take 24 hours to have YouTube look at it and, I don't know, decide if you need to remove anything because it's live. If there's any, copyright strikes or anything. And then the third one will be maybe 4 times. The third one will be a short video either on something from crochet or something from retirement. And I have been not doing my retirement, so I'm gonna have to catch up on that. And then the fourth one would be maybe 5. The live stream from Seeker's Notes, which I have developed that I have followers for, which is cool. And Seeker's Note is the one video game that I play. So there'll be the live stream for it. And then, which I usually do right after I crochet, because I have to lay flat on a thing of ice because my back is going to be hurting from sitting this long. And yes, I could stand up and do these, but I do not know how to configure the lighting properly. So, whatever. And then the video post of the stream. So 2 are actually the same thing with some minimal editing. Like I'll edit out the beginning when I'm sitting here going, how come no one's here? Whatever. Okay. Oh my gosh, we've already been on for 46 minutes. Wow, that's a long time. All right. Okie dokie. Okay, so here is the basis for our puppy dog. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chain. Oh, no, I'm going to do 4 single crochets. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to turn. I'm going to do another row of 4. Okay, let me think. And I don't have a pattern for this. I'm kind of just making it up as I go along. And the idea is that I want one ear to be up and be pointy, and the other ear is going to fold over and be pointy. And I want it to go, and I want it to go past the circle. And there are patterns for that. Obviously, there's patterns for everything, but it involves having pieces that you have to sew on like this, or like you would have with this. It's too much. So if I can do it without having to take my hook off, that's what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to do another one. It's chain 1, turn. So I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to do 4 rows of these. And if you're counting stitches, which you don't really need to do, it would be 16 stitches, because you do not count the turning chain unless the pattern specifically says that you do. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my stitches, and it's going to make this come to a point. So I am not going to turn. I'm sorry, I'm not going to put a turning chain. And I'm going to turn, and I'm going to do a decrease. And a decrease is just a regular, you start off like a regular single crochet. So you go in, pull through, you don't yarn over. Now you go to the next stitch, go through, pull through, yarn over, and pull these together. So it looks like a funky half double crochet. So now I'm going to put single crochet here. So now I have 3 stitches. I'm going to do the same thing on the next row. I am not going to chain 1. I'm going to turn. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 1. But I'm not going to pull through these like a regular single crochet. Now I'm going to go into the next one. And now I have 3 on here. And now it looks like I'm doing a half double crochet. Now sometimes you can just skip the stitch. I don't like doing that because then there could be an obvious gap there. And if you're stuffing, your stuffing might show. We are not stuffing, obviously. Okay, so we're going to do it again because we have 2 on here. So we're going to go through, pull it through. There's the last one, pull it through, go like this, and now we have a point. Look how cute that is. So now we're going to look at this and see I think that's going to be long enough. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this side is going to be brown. And I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to anchor this with a chain stitch, just so that, because this is kind of a lot, I don't know, just to make it look neater. And then you even have a little bit more of a point. Look how cute that is. This even can be done for the pigs. For the pig ear, what I did was I did a peacock up here to put a little point, but I could have done more of a point here. But I was just kind of goofing around, so it's fine. All right, I don't have a lot of brown yarn handy. So here is a little Dachshund I was making, but I twisted his body, so now he's got a leg growing out of his back. So I even wove it in. Isn't that funny? Is that crazy? I made a mistake and I didn't even notice. So okay, that's fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to end this stream unless, I think my daughter's here. Daughter, if you're here, you can leave. And then I'm going to cancel. Nope, I'm going to end. But I'm going to look for that brown yarn. I have just a little bit. Can I do cream instead? What do you think? Cream? No, because I need this for the dog's snout. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to say, no, that's black. I'm going to say I'm going to go anyway. I can't find the brown, and I still don't feel good, so I'm just going to go. Thank you for all being here. There's still two people. Oh, someone else is gone. Okay. And you can see this live stream tomorrow as a video, and you'll know it's this live stream because I'll have this. I'll have what I was working on as the thumbnail so that you can tell. You can go, oh yeah, I watched that one. Thank you. Like, subscribe, send me a comment, ask me a question, and I will see you later on. And if you want, you can hang out for another couple minutes. I'll be doing some Seeker's Notes for a little bit, and then probably taking a nap. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Boop. Boop, I'm back.